1v1?
Turn it up.
Bose just made a power move that has the tennis world talking. They skipped over the major players everyone expected and went straight for Coco Gauff. We're not talking about a random endorsement here. We're talking about a strategic partnership that signals where the real money is flowing in professional tennis right now.
That's out.
All that sound from this is crazy.
Crazy.
But real talk, do you think this was the right call by Bose, or should they have gone with someone else? Let me know in the comments. Alright, what's good everyone? Your boy here bringing you the real breakdown on what's actually happening in the business side of professional tennis. Not the gossip, not the drama. The actual business moves that matter. Because at the end of the day, sponsorships and brand partnerships are what separate good players from great players financially. It's what separates those who are just playing tennis from those who are building legitimate business empires around their names. Now, let's talk about Bose for a second because this is important context. Bose isn't some small startup company or a random audio brand that nobody's heard of. We're talking about one of the most respected audio equipment companies in the entire world. They've been around for decades. They've got credibility. They've got a reputation for quality. They sponsor major events. They partner with elite athletes. When Bose decides to put their name and their money behind someone, that's a significant statement about who they think is the future of their sport. So here's what just happened. Bose recently featured Coco Gauff and Ben Shelton in a commercial for their new SoundLink Plus portable speaker from the Citrus collection. Both athletes were dressed in vibrant yellow, promoting this speaker to the world. Now, on the surface, that might sound like just another random commercial collaboration. Athletes do commercials all the time. That's normal in professional sports. But here's where it gets interesting. Bose didn't just pick any two players. They picked Coco Gauff and they picked Ben Shelton. And that choice matters way more than people realize. Think about the landscape of professional tennis for a second. You've got established superstars. You've got players who have been around for years, dominating the sport, winning Grand Slams, winning Masters events. You've got household names that sponsors have been chasing for decades. You've got players with massive prize money already won, tournament victories on their resumes, and international recognition. Those are the players that sponsors traditionally go after. Those are the safe bets. Those are the players with proven track records of bringing eyeballs and attention to whatever they touch. But Bose didn't go after the traditional choice. They went after Coco, and that's the move that's got everyone in the tennis community talking right now. Why would a major brand like Bose skip over the established players and go with someone who's still building her career at the absolute highest level? Because they see something the old guard doesn't. They see the future of professional tennis. They see where the market is moving. They see demographic trends. They see engagement metrics. They see that Coco Gauff is the future of women's tennis specifically, and they want to be associated with that movement. Let's break down what makes Coco such a valuable endorsement partner right now. She's young. She's incredibly talented. She's been winning major tournaments. She's a Grand Slam champion. She's got international appeal because she represents the next generation of American tennis dominance. She's articulate. She's marketable, she's got social media presence, she's got mainstream appeal beyond just tennis fans. When Coco plays, people want to watch. And that's not something you can say about every professional athlete, even at the highest levels. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Bose didn't just sign Coco to do one commercial and call it a day. This is a legitimate partnership. This is brand alignment. This is Coco Gauff becoming the face of Bose audio products in the tennis world. That's different from just doing a one-off spot. That's about positioning her as the spokesperson, the representative, the person who embodies what Bose stands for as a company. And that kind of partnership is worth serious money. We're talking potentially millions of dollars depending on the terms of the contract. Now, let's talk about what this means for the players that Bose didn't pick, because there are definitely some egos getting bruised right now. You've got major players in the tennis world who have been around longer than Coco. You've got players with more Grand Slams. You've got players with more tournament titles. You've got players with more prize money won. And yet Bose looked at all of that and said, no, we're going with Coco. That's a statement. That's literally Bose telling the tennis world that they think Coco's trajectory and appeal is worth more than the legacy of some other players. The sarcasm practically writes itself here. All those haters who said Coco wasn't ready for this level of prominence, all those people who questioned whether she could handle the pressure of being a Grand Slam champion at a young age, All those doubters who wanted to see her struggle or fail? Well, here comes a major international brand basically saying she's the future. She's the one worth investing in. She's the one worth putting on a commercial that's going to be seen by millions of people across multiple platforms and countries. This also sends a message about how brands are thinking about sports endorsements in 2025. They're not just looking at past achievements. They're not just looking at tournament records. They're looking at trajectory. They're looking at marketability. They're looking at who's going to be relevant and interesting 5 years from now. They're looking at who's got the demographic appeal. They're looking at who can transcend their sport and become a cultural figure. That's why Coco is so valuable right now. She's already transcending tennis. She's already becoming a broader cultural icon beyond the sport itself. Let's also talk about Ben Shelton for a second, because his inclusion in this commercial is also significant. He's another young American player with serious potential and serious upside. He's got his own sponsorship deals with major brands like On, Yonex, and Rolex. So Bose is aligning themselves with the young American tennis movement specifically. They're positioning themselves as the brand that's cool with the next generation. They're cool with young, talented Americans who represent the future of the sport. That's smart branding. That's understanding the market. But here's the thing that's going to drive people absolutely crazy about this. The major players that got snubbed, they're seeing their relevance start to shift. The world moves on. The market changes. New faces emerge. And when a brand like Bose makes a decision like this, it's a public validation that the torch is being passed. It's a very clear signal that the future belongs to players like Coco and Ben, not necessarily to the older guard anymore. That's the real sting of this for anybody who wasn't chosen. Now, from a pure business perspective, this makes absolute sense for Bose. They want to be the audio brand of the future of tennis. They want to be associated with young, dynamic athletes who are winning, improving, and building their legacies. They want to be on the ground floor of the next wave of tennis dominance. And aligning with Coco Gauff is literally betting on the future. It's a smart long-term play, not just a reaction to what's happening right now. Think about the positioning too. This commercial is for a portable speaker from the Citrus collection, which features bright yellow aesthetics. Coco and Ben are both young, both vibrant, both energetic. The brand fit is perfect. Bose isn't trying to look old and established here. They're trying to look fresh, modern, and aligned with the future of the sport. That's intentional, that's strategic, and that's why Coco is the perfect face for this campaign. Let's also consider what this means for Coco's overall brand portfolio. She's already got serious sponsorships. She's got New Balance for apparel. She's got Head for rackets and strings. She's got Miu Miu for luxury fashion items. She's got Rolex for watches. She's got Ray-Ban Meta for eyewear. And now, she's adding Bose audio products to her roster. This is how you build an empire. This is how young athletes become global brands. You partner with major companies that want to be associated with your name, your image, and your trajectory. Coco's doing this better than most players twice her age. The commercial itself, with both athletes in vibrant yellow, is going to get attention. It's memorable. It's different. It's not the standard corporate sponsorship video that puts people to sleep. It's fun. It's energetic. It's exactly the kind of content that's going to get clips shared on social media, get viral moments, and generate buzz beyond just the traditional advertising channels. That's value that Bose is getting here that you can't always put a price on. Now, let's talk about what this means for the future of tennis sponsorships. If Bose is making this move and investing in Coco Gauff as their primary tennis spokesperson, other brands are going to be paying attention. They're going to see the success of this partnership. They're going to see the engagement and the reach. They're going to see that Coco brings something special to the table beyond just being a good tennis player, and they're going to want to invest in her as well. This one sponsorship deal could open doors to other major partnerships that Coco hadn't even considered yet. The haters are probably absolutely seething about this right now. They're probably trying to come up with reasons why this decision doesn't make sense. They're probably making excuses. They're probably pointing to players with more Grand Slams or more tournament victories, not understanding that tennis sponsorships in the modern era aren't just about what you've already accomplished. They're about who you are, where you're going, and what your brand represents. Coco wins on all three of those metrics right now. What's also important to understand is that Bose could have gone in a different direction. They could have sponsored a player with an established legacy. They could have gone with someone who already has international name recognition among older demographics. But they chose the future instead. They chose energy. They chose youth. They chose someone who represents the next generation of tennis excellence. That decision is basically Bose executives looking at the landscape and saying, we want to grow with this player. We want to be part of her journey as she continues to win majors and build her legacy. The commercial featuring the SoundLink Plus portable speaker from the Citrus collection is genius marketing too. It's not a boring endorsement. It's a lifestyle endorsement. It's Coco and Ben in bright yellow, representing energy, optimism, and modernity. It's audio equipment that's positioned as trendy and current, not just as some boring tech accessory. It's literally saying that Bose audio products are for the young, dynamic, athletic generation that's taking over the world. And Coco Gauff is the perfect person to be the face of that message. The sponsorship also positions Coco as more than just an athlete. She's becoming a personality. She's becoming an endorser. She's becoming someone that major international brands want to align themselves with. That's when you know you've made it to the next level in professional sports. That's when you know you're building something bigger than just winning tennis matches. You're building a brand. You're building an empire. You're becoming a commodity that goes beyond your sport. For the players who got skipped over, this is a moment of reckoning. This is the market literally telling them that the future doesn't belong to them anymore. That doesn't mean they're not great players. It doesn't mean they're not talented or accomplished. It just means that from a commercial and business perspective, Bose believes that Coco Gauff is a better investment for their future than they are. And that's based on market research, demographic data, engagement metrics, and all the analytical stuff that goes into these decisions. The timing of this also matters. This is happening right before Wimbledon 2025. Coco and Ben are both about to compete at one of the most prestigious tournaments in all of sports. And Bose is putting them in a major commercial right before that happens. That's not accidental. That's strategic timing. Bose wants their products associated with these players as they head into one of the biggest tournaments of the year. They want people thinking about Bose when they're watching Wimbledon. They want the brand top of mind. Looking at the bigger picture, what Bose is really doing here is investing in the future of professional tennis sponsorships. They're not just getting a 2-year deal or a one-off commercial. They're positioning themselves as the audio brand of the next era of tennis. They're getting in early with players who are going to dominate the sport for the next 10 to 15 years. That's long-term thinking. That's strategic positioning. And that's why Coco Gauff was the obvious choice for what they're trying to accomplish. That's the real story behind this Bose deal with Coco Gauff. It's not just about a commercial. It's about where the future of tennis is headed. The haters can stay mad while Coco keeps stacking these deals. If you think this move makes sense for Bose, hit that like button. Subscribe to stay in the loop on all the big sponsorship news in tennis. Thanks for watching.